Hello, Mr Dunn. Thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure, Marcus.
What do you think about the new school and its facilities?
Marcus, I'm absolutely delighted by it. It's been a long time coming. We've worked on this project for years now, ever since the Rose Bay Bowling Club came up for purchase in 2001. And ever since that time we've been planning this project, and with one real thought in mind, and that was, how do we make school education better for our boys? And that's what's been behind everything we've done. So we've created here, as you know, a beautiful place that inspires people, I think, just by being there. And also a place that is really practical. A place where there's lots of room for the boys to move. Outside and inside the classrooms, the piazzas inside the buildings, the passive play areas, and of course the wonderful Dangar playing fields. So we as teachers in the school are really thrilled by the whole thing, and we can see how well the boys are responding to it already.
So, was there any different designs from what we have today?
Well, that's a good question. Yes, there were. There were a number of iterations, if I can use that word, of the design. It wasn't just one idea. The way we started was what they call butter paper sketches. So it's big bits of yellow paper, like tissue paper. And rather than drawing buildings on that, the architects were sitting down with us and drawing circles, really. This is where we should have the K to 2 perhaps. This is where the 3 to 6. This is where the playing fields are. Looking at the relationships. And from those butter paper sketches, it became more and more refined so that we got to what we have today. But there are times, for example, when my office wasn't here in the meeting, was here where the meeting room is. And the meeting room was where my office is, for example. There were times when the K to 2 classrooms were configured differently. So instead of being in a straight line, they were kind of put at unevenly across, and that was changed. So not only were big ideas changed like that, but little ideas were changed as well. Even the shapes of desks in rooms and all those sorts of things. So it's gone through a number of refinements, and I'm really grateful to the teachers particularly and other staff in the school who've been involved in the process, because they made lots of suggestions that were taken on board by the architects, and the architects, I'm pleased to say, listened really well to what we wanted and what our needs were. And so yes, there were many different versions on the way to refining it to what we have today.
Yeah, so what is your favourite part of the new school?
Thanks for asking that question, Hamish. It's a tough one though, I have to say, because there's so many things I like about it. The eye centre is a great place. And I can see boys really loving that environment. I love the handball courts. I think they're great. I love seeing boys playing chess in the passive play area, and particularly like seeing young boys playing with older ones and so on. But I guess what I like the most would have to be the classroom precincts, where the classrooms are, because that's where you guys are most of the time, and that's the bit we had to get right the most. It's wonderful to walk into a huge gymnasium, which is a wonderful place for playing and for assembly and all that, but you spend most of your time in the classroom. So I like the fact that we have a piazza with the 3 classrooms, the bathrooms, so you don't have to go wandering all around the place to go there, the seminar room there for small group things. I like what's happened there the most, I think.
How do you think that the boys are enjoying the facilities?
Well, they tell me really good things, and I ask them a lot about how they're finding it, Hamish, and what I tend to hear from them the most is there's so much more space here. Yeah. And we love being right next to the fields and running out onto the fields that kind of thing. They love the space around them in the piazza areas and the classrooms. I'm sure it must feel freer for the boys, liberating experience for them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you can confirm that, your boys who are using the rooms. And one boy said something that I thought was very insightful. He said, Mr Dunn, wherever I go in the junior school, it looks good. There isn't a bad vista, not a bad view in the whole school. Every angle is a good angle. And I think there's a lot to be said for being in a beautiful environment, because somehow it lifts the spirit, just makes you feel better. And that's got to be good for boys.
So what are some troubles you've encountered since we've moved campus?
Oh, I won't hesitate in answering that question very quickly, because the biggest trouble of all was the sewer lines. And we had some trouble there because there'd been some damage that wasn't noticed. And of course, it started to be noticed when we started using the bathrooms and the sinks and all that. And as you've seen, that trouble led to us having to dig up a lot of the good work that had been done and redoing it. And it was disappointing, and it meant that we couldn't use everything in the school straight away. But I think we've just about forgotten about that now. Once it's all fixed up, and it's fixed now, of course, it's full steam ahead. So that's the main thing, but I have to say that there hasn't been much at all that we're not pleased with.
Once again, thank you for your time, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks, boys. My pleasure. Thanks, boys.